Hi, I'm Will Leach, author of Marketing to Mindstates, and this is your Mindstate Messenger. Today, I'd like to talk about a surefire way that you can use behavioral science to capture and maintain attention to your messaging. I know that there's a lot of agency owners out there, marketing professionals that understand that we live in this attention economy and that there's so many new marketers, there's so much more content out there. It's actually getting harder and harder for you to break through all the morass of all the advertising out there. But actually, more importantly, is that they're finding it's more important to actually maintain people's attention. Why? Well, because they're so much more important to be able to get people to read your advertisement, to get into your messaging, and ultimately buy a product. So it's no longer just important just to break through with your creative. You need to maintain attention. And there's a lot of people that find that really hard. Well, here's a couple of reasons why. There's so much more content that people are being overwhelmed with messaging and content. And actually that there's this lack of understanding that really a lot of people struggle with. And that's we don't really know what makes one message work and why that same message won't work a week later or with a different target. So there's not really a surefire understanding of how to make messaging work. So in the past, if you wanted breakthrough marketing, here's what most people thought about. They wanted to use humor because humor creates this idea of cognitive dissonance. And the reason why something is funny from maybe a neurological perspective is that your brain kind of understands the way the world should work. Your psychology kind of understands the way that it should work. And so what happens is, as you're telling a joke or when something doesn't fit with the way we would expect something to kind of run its course, then it creates this dissonance. And that dissonance can also often lead to curiosity and funny. But here's a problem in today's world. Humor can be a double-edged sword, right? It can be very polarizing in today's world to use humor. And what if your brand, the brand that you're working on, doesn't really lend itself to humor? Let's say you're selling medical equipment, or you're a SaaS-based consulting firm, or you're in the world of digital security. I mean, there's so many different industries out there that just don't make sense to use humor. So what do you do for breakthrough marketing? How do you get your marketing to stand out from the crowd if you can't use humor? You don't want to use humor? Well, there's another way. And that way comes from the world of behavioral science. And it teaches us that one of the best ways to capture somebody's attention and to maintain that attention is to use aspirations. So what you want to do is show people their aspirations, themselves at their best day, and then you can connect that with how your brand can help them reach that state. So it's a concept called goal theory. And really what that means is that we're always more moving towards our aspirational goals or our aspirations, whether we know it or not. In fact, many times it's a very subconscious thing that we do. We take notice of things that showcase that we can be closer to our aspirations. So how do you do this? First, you're going to want to identify your target's aspirational goals in the category that you serve. It does you no good if you're selling software as a service and you're speaking to people's aspirations around being the best parent, right? That doesn't make any sense. So what you want to do is understand their aspirations in whatever the category is that you serve. Next, you really want to get into those details. When you speak to people's aspirations, you speak to their goals, you want to know what it looks like, you want to know what it feels like, and you want to know what it sounds like so that you can actually replicate those senses in your messaging. Step 3, you're going to then take that messaging and you're going to immediately activate this goal so that people's subconscious takes notice and they get curious. So what does that mean to you? In the first 7 seconds of an ad, you're going to want to talk about people's aspirations. You're going to want to show them what their best selves looks like in your category. That will grab somebody's attention and it gets them curious. That gets you from 1 to 7 seconds, down from 7 seconds, all the way to 30 seconds. If you can maintain that curiosity by telling people how your brand or your company can help them reach their aspirations. Why? Because if you understand and speak to people's aspirations, what you're going to be able to is have a surefire way to use behavioral science to capture and maintain attention to your messaging. And when you do this for your clients, you're going to stand out from the competition and you're going to grow your business. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Now hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see the latest videos to show you how to grow your brand or business using behavioral science.